Okay, now we're gonna talk about the Jumbotron. In the route exact part, routes home, we have home, right? And in our home, from pages, we have our Jumbotron, which is just a Jumbotron containers. From containers, we take Jumbotron and we have Jumbotron container. And then we're mapping over Jumbo data, mapping just like in the accordion. We take the item. This is basically from the fixtures, Jumbo data. We have some table, ID title, subtitle, image, direction, and basically we take this. Here we have a pane, which will be 50%. This is the Jumbotron, by the way. Oh, that's the original Netflix. That's my page. They have a video just blended into the image. In the full screen, it looks like this. Some heading, subtitle, image, subtitle. Okay. Basically, this is just mapping over Jumbo data, nothing else in this container. Okay, so we go to the index and also styles. We are importing this from styles, container, inner, item, subtitle, and we have children, direction. Here we also take the direction in our Jumbotron. Yeah, and we pass it to the direction item. Because in the pages Jumbotron we have key, right? In the Jumbotron we have key item ID, or so we have direction item direction, because in our Jumbo data we have value direction which can be row reverse. So we take that. Default is row, so default direction is row. Then the Jumbotron actually returns our item, which has inner inside. So the inner has direction of direction, text children, and next container children, pane is children, title children, subtitle children, image is just a single element which has rest of the props. Okay, so now we have only the styles, which is the most important, right? So I don't know why I do the weird eyes. Export constant item. So let's check the DevTools. Because we have Jumbotron container, right? And in the container we have 3 items. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. So let's go with the first one. First item. So we have title, subtitle, and image. So we have display flex. Overflow is hidden. Overflow is hidden. What if I change overflow to not hidden? Nothing is really changing, but I guess it's important. So we have some padding into the item. The padding is 50, 50, 36, 30. This is the padding. Okay, and then we have 5% on the right side. in the item we have inner, and the inner doesn't have any padding. Displays flags. Align item centers flags. I can't read. Align items centers flex direction. The value of arrow function takes the value of direction and it returns direction. Flex direction. The value of direction. I mean, why can't we just type direction? Wouldn't that be so easy? Fail to compile. But we can't do that. We have to do this way. Justify content space between in the inner. Okay, there is a space between, right? Margin auto with 100%. Media max with flex direction column. Yeah, because if the media is smaller than we have in the column, then we have Jumbotron pane. This is taking 50% of the website, and the other side is taking 50% of the website. If we go smaller than 1000, then we change the padding to 0.45. Why it's not visible? This is the inner. This is the item. This is inner pane. So this is the Jumbotron pane, and it has 45 padding on the sides. See? Also this has a padding 45 on the sides, so it doesn't blend with the borders. Then we have constant title, styled h1, font size 59, height 11, margin bottom. Margin bottom is 8 pixels, media is changing, subtitle the same. Then we have image is maxed with 100%. Maxed with 100%. But I don't think that it's taking more. Let's check fixtures. Miscellaneous home mobile. Miscellaneous home mobile. How big is this picture? So it takes the maximum width. If I say width 100%, then when I resize it, something will be wrong. Something will be wrong with this image, it's too big, see? And also it's too close. Also it's too close to the text. But when I change it to maximum width is 100%, then it's normal. Maybe even a little bit too big of a gap. In the Jumbotron container, we have this item, row reverse, pane. This pane is weird. This pane is weird, I can tell you that. That image is poorly edited. It should have some black on the sides. See, like this one, this is centered. This one is too small. This one is fine. That's weird editing. Should be a little bit to the right. Okay. Then we have container. So the container is the main thing, huh? We have our header. We have our Jumbotron. So we have the container, which is a div, and when we go smaller than 1000 pixels, then we get the value of item last of type h2, which is this one, margin bottom 50. So basically here, because we have the container, so we get the value of item, this is the item, the value of, we have 3 items, and the last of type h2, value of item, margin bottom 50, basically to spread that. Okay, I think that was the Jumbotron, and probably maybe I can go to the header right now, just straight away to the header to finish the first part. So we have our header, right? We have our header, which is a little bit more complicated because we have header container and then we have our feature, this header container. So feature is the children of header container, okay? And then if I go to the header, first we have a frame, right? And then the children. The children is what I just showed you, which is feature. This is the feature. And if I go back to the header, we have a header frame, which is logo and bottom link. This is the logo, this is the bottom link. The logo is to routes home, source logo. Source logo is just the logo which I have one folder above logo svg. Button link, header button link is a route sign in button link, and the children. Okay, so let's get into that. We have the header. In the header we have link as React Router link from React Router DOM. We have background, button link, container, and logo. This is we have background. The background is actually our header because we export default function. Background is true on default. They takes children, rest of the props. And then if we have some background, then we take that background, otherwise children. But the background is true, so we always take the children if we don't have the background. Otherwise we take the children. What do I mean by this? If I specify, for example, header source equals to I'm gonna say something else because in the containers header, no, in the header, oh, it was, I think it was right here. So images miscellaneous, and then JPEG. So for example, we get Joker 1. If I do Joker 1, we have Joker 1. See, it's very easy to change the background like this because we can just pass children to our header and because in the background this is a div, displays flex direction colon, okay, but background is URL, take the URL value of JavaScript world, and then we take our function of the value of source, and then if we have any source, we take the images miscellaneous, the value of source dot JPEG, otherwise by default we take home background, and this is by the source, and then we take background, repeat, no repeat, background position top left, and then background, that was background size, cover the whole screen, okay? Yes. So if I delete the Joker source, it will be home background again. So if I go flex direction row, you can see it has 3 elements. 1, 2, and 3. This is our feature which also has optform. Okay, so we have container displaying flex, margins. We have our container, right? Feature of header background. We have the header container. This is container for the header. This is container for the header. which is a little bit weird. Because this should be header frame and then the children. Display flex, this link is display flex margin. It has media margin 0.30. The container, right? 0.30. It has that margin. And then it's 56. 56 and then 30. Logo is image. Height with margin right, media height 45 with 165 button link. Button link is taken from styled React Router link as React Router link from React Router DOM. Styled React Router, and this is display block. Background color, width, height, fit content. It's not that necessary fit content. Color white. Border 0, font size, border radius, so the edges are smooth, padding, cursor pointed. Text decoration none, so the link is not underlined. Box sizing, border box, so the padding is actually calculated within. Because the height, fit content, the height is fit content. So is it the same? It's 16 plus how much? It's 34 and this is 32. What about without this? It's 34 and this is 32. If I go bigger, still the same. If I go height fit content, still the same. Okay. Box sizing, border box. Hover, if I hover, it changes color. So I think the background is most interesting. But it's so easy to change background, right? I just put background in here on the header. And then we have our opt forms. Our opt forms and indexes. Opt form is basically copied because this is the same opt form. You have the display flex, justify content, height 100%, margin tab, wrap. Because that was in the header, we have our children in the header. Which is the feature. Feature has title, subtitle. Feature has title, subtitle. Feature has this is the feature title, subtitle, and then the feature has opt form. The opt form has input, break, button, which changes its brightness, width. When we hover, it's different. Text transform uppercase on the button, height 70. Height is actually 70, right? It's 50 plus margin 20. break input, max width, etc. But placeholder is on the input. Optform input placeholders equals to email address. Okay, so we have optform text function, optform text children as of the props, return the text. Optform break function, optform break rest of the props, return break. Header container, we have feature, form, optform input, optform button, and then optform text. This is text. So I think that I've explained everything in this tutorial. And the most interesting part of it, actually the highlight, is this, that the background changes. And also where was it? I think that's the weirdest part actually, because the URL takes the value of, and then the arrow function of the value of source goes, we have source, then this is link as React router link is also weird, because the export const button link equals styled React router link. This is a button link. Also here we have the export default function header background equals true by default children, and then the rest of the props. Return if we have any background, then return the background, and then background takes children. The background is actually everything, because the header container returns actually background. If I go to the header returns background only, or children. So if I go false, it doesn't have background. And okay, so I think I'm gonna finish here. So by the way, I'm watching Carl Hadwin. Next, he's gonna tell me how to connect to the Firebase and probably make sign up, sign in, and also browse. I tried my best to explain this. I think I did a good job. Sorry for the miscellaneous things, but that was my first tutorial, and I hope you learned something. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.